From 1803 to 1850, the United States grew rapidly, expanding across the continent to form what is now the lower 48 states of the United States of America. In this painting, which depicts rolling hills sparsely covered by fir trees, we see a wagon train, a line of pioneers moving across the plains. Some are traveling by horseback, some are on foot, many are in covered wagons. They are on a rugged trail moving through the hills and the forest towards a conical snow-peaked mountain. This map depicts the growth of the United States from 1783 to 1850. In 1783, the United States extended from the Atlantic to the Mississippi River and from the Great Lakes to the border of today's Florida. In 1803, the United States rapidly doubled in size when we bought the Louisiana Purchase from Napoleon of France. The U.S. now included most of the land from the Mississippi River to the Rocky Mountains, excluding what is today Texas and parts of Colorado and New Mexico. New Mexico. In 1819, the U.S. acquired Florida from Spain. Acquired is a loose term there because actually we pressured them to give it to us. Then, in 1845, independent Texas, which had won its independence from the country of Mexico a few years before, was annexed or taken over by the United States, as was desired by the mostly U.S.-born population that was living in Texas. Throughout the 1800s, pioneers moved across the country along the Oregon Trail to what is today the Pacific Northwest. But that land was held jointly by the United States and Great Britain. In 1846, a treaty with Britain divides Oregon country from what is today British Columbia. The United States now had the land of Oregon, Washington, and Idaho. Finally, this map shows us that in 1848, after the Mexican-American War, the U.S. bought present-day California, Nevada, Utah, New Mexico, and Arizona. Throughout most of this expansion, all of these lands were not states yet, but would become states as the population of the United States moved west, as well as immigrants moving across the land and coming to the United States to explore, farm, and seek out a new life on these newly acquired lands. But these lands were not empty. Many different groups of people lived there. This expansion had many achievements, resulted in an incredible amount of wealth, but was also full of hardship, tragedy, and conflict. But at the same time, it shaped the nation we are today. Part of what shaped this expansion of the United States is a concept called manifest destiny. This painting that you started this lesson looking at is called American Progress, and it was painted by a Brooklyn-based artist named John Gast in 1872, many years after actually most of this expansion had actually taken place. In many ways, the painting is an illustration of manifest destiny, but only a positive image of that concept. You are now going to read about manifest destiny to learn a little bit more about how this concept shaped American and immigrants' ideals and beliefs about the land that we were now taking over.